Chapter 7. The Promised Land. His bond with the wolf pack deepened. They communicated with a wordless understanding, sharing knowledge of the land and its creatures. Waya, the elder wolf, became his confidant. Her experience and wisdom were invaluable. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and red, young Indian man Ahiga sat with his wife, a pony, by the riverbank. The air was alive with the chirping of crickets and the gentle murmur of flowing water. "We can't stay here forever," a pony said, her voice laced with concern. "The land is changing. The game is becoming scarce." The young native Indian man, Ahiga, nodded, the weight of responsibility heavy on his shoulders. "I know. Waimahau and the elders are discussing a journey north." "A dangerous journey," a pony said, her eyes searching his. "Are you sure it's the right choice?" Ahiga took her hand, his fingers tracing the delicate lines on her palm. "It's the only choice we have, a pony. We can't stay here and wait for the white men to take everything from us." A pony leaned in, her head resting against his shoulder. "Then we face it together," she whispered. In the weeks that followed, the village buzzed with preparations. Teepees were repaired and reinforced, food supplies were gathered and dried, and weapons were honed to a sharp edge. The tribe worked tirelessly, a sense of urgency coursing through their veins. The day of their departure arrived under a clear blue sky. A somber mood hung over the village as the native Indian tribe said goodbye to the land they had called home for generations. But there was also a flicker of determination in their eyes, a yearning for a future where they could live in peace and freedom. The young native Indian man, Ahiga, riding his new horse alongside a pony, glanced back at the village one last time. The familiar sight of smoke rising from teepees sent a pang of nostalgia through him. He knew they might never return. But as he looked ahead at the vast expanse of the plain stretching before them, a spark of hope ignited within him. He was a wolf boy, leader of his tribe and bridge between two worlds. He would guide them to safety, no matter the challenges that lay ahead. Their journey north was arduous. They faced scorching sun, relentless rain, and nights that were as cold as a wolf's breath. Food supplies dwindled, and tempers flared under the constant strain. But young man, Ahiga's calm leadership and the silent support of his wolf pack kept them going. One evening, exhausted and dispirited, they camped by a small stream. The children whimpered with hunger, and the adults wore faces etched with worry. Young man Ahiga felt a familiar knot of unease twist in his stomach. They were lost, their initial optimism fading fast. Waya, the wolf, nudged Ahiga's hand with her snout, a gentle insistence that pulled him away from the despair settling around the campfire. He followed her into the deepening twilight, the forest floor rustling beneath their feet. They reached a clearing bathed in moonlight, revealing a sight that sent a jolt of surprise through Ahiga. A herd of deer grazed peacefully, their bodies plump and healthy. Relief washed over him, a wave of pure, unadulterated joy. This was enough to sustain them for a few days at least, enough to give them the strength to keep searching for their new home. The hunt was swift and successful. Ahiga, guided by Waya's instincts and his own sharpened senses, led a small hunting party. They returned to the camp with enough venison to fill bellies and spirits alike. The children, eyes gleaming with renewed hope, roasted the meat over the fire, its aroma filling the air with a promise of a better tomorrow. This unexpected bounty did more than just replenish their food stores. It served as a reminder of Ahiga's unique place between the human and animal worlds. He addressed the tribe that night, his voice ringing with newfound confidence. "This land holds its own challenges," he declared, "but it also holds its own gifts. We must learn to understand it, to respect its creatures, just as the wolves have taught me. Together, we can find a way to survive, to thrive." Young man, Ahiga's words resonated through the tribe. The elders, who had initially looked upon the journey north with skepticism, now saw Ahiga's leadership in a new light. He wasn't just a protector, he was a bridge between them and this unknown wilderness. The days that followed were filled with a renewed sense of purpose. The tribe, fueled by the deer meat and Ahiga's unwavering spirit, continued their trek north. They learned to read the signs of the land, the direction of the wind, the behavior of birds, the patterns of animal tracks. Ahiga, with Waya and Wolf's sister and brother as his guide, scouted ahead, searching for safe passage and potential food sources. One afternoon, they stumbled upon a hidden valley nestled between rolling hills. A crystal-clear river snaked through the valley floor, and the air buzzed with the sound of life. Lush meadows carpeted the ground, and herds of bison grazed in the distance. It was as if they had stumbled upon a forgotten paradise, untouched by the white man's greed. A gasp escaped the pony's lips as she stood beside Ahiga, her eyes wide with wonder. "This could be it," she whispered, her voice trembling with emotion. Ahiga surveyed the valley with a cautious optimism. It was perfect, abundant game, clean water, and natural shelter. But was it too good to be true? Were they the only tribe aware of this hidden haven? He sent out scouts, both from the tribe and from his wolf pack, to explore the valley's perimeter. Days passed, filled with a tense anticipation. Finally, the scouts returned, their faces creased with a mixture of relief and excitement. No other tribes occupied the valley. Overcome with joy, the tribe descended into the valley. The elders held a ceremony to give thanks to the Great Spirit for their good fortune. Children splashed in the river, their laughter echoing through the valley like a forgotten melody. The future, though still uncertain, shimmered with possibility. And so, under the watchful gaze of the wolves and the watchful eye of the Great Spirit, Ahiga and his tribe began their new life in the hidden valley, a testament to the enduring human spirit and the unbreakable bond between a young native Indian man, a wolf pack, and the land.